Welcome to the multiverse of Pakistan. Here, facts do not matter, evidence does not count. All that's important is propaganda. The more ludicrous the claim, the better. And guess what the new one is? That India is sponsoring terror against Pakistan, that Pakistani insurgents and terrorists are Indian proxies. And who's saying all of this? Mr. Truth himself, Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif. Let me give you the background first. Pakistan's provinces are in open rebellion. In Balochistan, separatists are demanding independence. They are led by the BLA, that's the Baloch Liberation Army. In 2025 alone, this year alone, they've carried out 71 attacks. 71 attacks on 51 locations. Just yesterday, there was a suicide bombing. At least 6 people were killed in Khuzdar. Though in this case, no group has claimed responsibility. So that's Balochistan. Then you have Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This province is home base for the TTP, that's the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, or the Pakistani Taliban. They have carried out 300 attacks this year. 300 attacks in the first 5 months of 2025. And finally, you have Sindh. The province is up in arms over a canal project. Take a look at this. This canal would divert water from Sindh to Punjab, so the locals are protesting. And just look at the scene. Security officials are being manhandled. The Home Minister's house was ransacked and protesters are firing guns into the air. Frankly, it looks like the state has lost control. The army controls some of the big cities in Punjab and Sindh. But beyond that, it's the Wild West. Instead of fixing that, what does Pakistan do? Blame India. Listen to Khwaja Asif's statement.
BLA and TTP are Indian proxies. They have nothing to do with religion or nationalism. India is financing them and they're involved in bloodshed here. We will present evidence of India's involvement. We will corroborate whatever we have claimed.
Where do we start? Pakistan says the BLA and the TTP are Indian proxies. Now, first of all, make up your mind. Are they Afghan proxies or Indian proxies? Because you keep saying both. Secondly, where is the evidence? India's allegations are rooted in facts. We have captured Pakistani terrorists alive in India. We have intercepted their communication. We have seized Pakistani weapons and technology. We have all of this. But Islamabad has done none of this. Guess why? Because there is nothing to find. India has called Pakistan's allegations baseless, an attempt to divert attention from its own poor reputation. Just think about it. The TTP wants to set up a Sharia state on India's borders. They think the current Pakistani regime is not Islamic enough. Why on earth would India back such a group? The fact is, these are homegrown. Balochistan has been ignored and suppressed for years, hence the locals are revolting. The TTP is Pakistan's own evil creation. Time for a short history lesson. Pakistan cultivated radicals to fight the Soviets in Afghanistan. This dates back to the 1980s. The Soviets left, but the radicalism did not. Cut to 2001. The US invaded Afghanistan after the 9/11 attack, and Pakistan supported this American invasion. So those same radicals turned against Islamabad. They banded together with the likes of Al-Qaeda. This is the short history of the TTP, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. This is not an Indian proxy. It is Pakistan's own creation. Of course, in Islamabad's multiverse, that is not the case. On the one hand, they blame India. On the other, they want talks. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is proposing a dialogue with India. He says the talks will cover 4 issues: Kashmir, terror, water, and trade. He also says that the talks should be held at some neutral venue, like Saudi Arabia. Now, first of all, this is plain delusion. Pakistan sponsored a terror attack in Pahalgam, and they now expect India to reward them with talks. It defies all logic. Secondly, this is a blatant attempt to internationalize the issue, to bring a third party on board. And India has firmly rejected this approach. Even today, the Foreign Ministry made that clear.
That any India-Pakistan engagement has to be bilateral. At the same time, I would like to remind you that talks and terror don't go together. On terrorism itself, as I had said earlier, we are open to discussing the handing over to India of noted terrorists whose list was given to Pakistan some years ago. I would also like to underline that any bilateral discussion on Jammu and Kashmir will only be on the vacation of illegally occupied Indian territory by Pakistan.
Now, if you look at history, that is true. Just think back to all major India-Pakistan dialogues. 1972, Shimla. 1999, Lahore. 2001, Agra. 2004, Islamabad. 2011, Mohali. 2014, New Delhi. And 2015, Lahore. Now, some of these were formal summits, some were informal outreaches. Either way, what's important is the location, not some neutral conference room in the Gulf or the Alps. These meetings happened in India or Pakistan. We don't have language barriers. We don't have distance issues. What we have is Pakistan's refusal to reform. So India should not fall for this outreach. It's a tactic to turn this bilateral issue into a global one. Instead, we should demand action. Whether it's returning Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or cutting off links to terrorism. We've had almost 8 decades of dialogue. It's now time for action. At First Post, we are choosing to hold on to accuracy. That means we won't always be first. We may not get you your breaking alert. But what you will get is what we owe you. And that is the truth. Verified, checked, and cross-checked. We rely on sources and verified ones. After all, that's what separates a journalist from a loudspeaker. But sometimes even we miss a beat. And when we do, we will tell you. We ran visuals from a registered news agency. That visual turned out to be fake. So we are taking accountability. And from now on, we will cite the source of every visual, every picture, every video that you see on First Post will have a source mentioned. That is our commitment to you. We will wait, we will verify, we will ask again, and only then will we tell you. No noise, no panic, just the facts. Because right now, that is what the country needs most.